Good morning. This is day 11 of Georgia. I just had a day off at the Green Dragon Hostel, and I am starting back at Unicoi Gap this morning. I can hear some people coming. I'm starting up the first climb up to Rocky Mountain, and somebody told me yes, it is rocky. It's about 2.7 miles to get up and over this mountain and back down the other side to a place called Indian Gap, and then another like 3 miles up the next mountain called Tray Mountain, which is over 4,000 feet. So I have 2 large climbs and then 2 descents, and in 8 miles I will get to a spot where there is some tent sites and a water source. So that's the plan for today. Then after tenting overnight, I'm going to have another 8 miles or so to get to a place called Unicoi Gap, where the hostel people are going to pick me up. And I'm going to go back to the Green Dragon Hostel for yet another stay. Wonderful place. They give you breakfast and really super nice people, very well organized. So that's the plan. So let's see what the trail brings me today. A flowing stream is getting to be a rare sight. It's very, very dry. And there is some rain coming in the forecast in a couple days. So hopefully that will remedy that. Still climbing Rocky Mountain. I'm about 6/10 of a mile up. And first thing in the morning, muscles are a little cold. I gotta get things well warmed up and then I can cruise. It looks like there's the sun just coming up over the ridge. This is the view from the top of Rocky Mountain, the first mountain climb of the day. Just beautiful. Rocky Mountain is at 4,000 feet of elevation, and I'm going to be heading down a bit, about 1,000 feet, and then back up to Tray Mountain at 4,400 feet. That's the big boy of the day. Just shy of the same elevation as Blood Mountain, and then head down that one. Indian Gap at 3,100 feet. Forest Service Road, little parking lot, and the trail starts back up there. So we're going to go back up to from 3,100 feet up to 4,400 feet. I think it's over 2 miles. It's a longer climb, but not quite as steep as the Rocky Mountain, which I didn't think was bad at all. So fresh legs, first thing in the morning, that's the way to do them. So when I get to Tray Mountain Shelter, I will share that with you and maybe get some lunch at that point. This climb is being powered by peanut M&Ms. This is a big tent site area on the way up to the top of Tray Mountain. And it's huge and flat. There's room for maybe at least a dozen tents. What a beautiful place to camp. And all this grassy area. It's very inviting to want to kind of stop and lay down and take a nap in the sunshine. And there's even a water source, but it's, I think it's a 1/4 mile downhill. So yeah, but wow, what a nice tent site. Beautiful. Okay, onward and upward to the top of Tray Mountain. Almost ready to hit the top of Tray Mountain. So the climb up here has been very similar to the other climbs I've been doing. I'm noticing the transitions in the type of trees and forest. So I started out in hardwood forest, and then it transitioned into rhododendrons at a certain elevation. And now, just like Blood Mountain, I am in, take a look. Can you guess what that is? If you've been watching my videos, you know that's the mountain laurel. It's starting to bud, and a couple more weeks, this whole mountainside is going to be in bloom all over the place. So I know I'm getting near the top because I'm in the mountain laurel. Okay, onward. Summit of Tray Mountain, 4,438 feet. Little hazy in the distance, but boy, are we up high. Starting the descent, nice and steep, going down through the mountain laurel here. So I've got a short descent to the, there's going to be a little trail to the shelter. I don't know exactly how far, maybe 3 or 4/10 of a mile, and then I can take a break. We are approaching Tray Mountain Shelter, sitting up here, perched on the side of Tray Mountain. Here's the shelter, and I'm gonna stop and have lunch and fill up all my water and get cameled up, because it's that time of day when things are getting kind of hot and dry. So time for a break. This is the spring, about 1/10 of a mile downhill from the Tray Mountain Shelter. Interesting concrete box spring here. I'm not quite sure what this is about, but there's a nice pipe and there's water coming. So I'm going to really get a lot of water in me here. There's another strange concrete foundation here. I don't know what this is. If it was a cabin, it was extremely small. But I suppose it could have been a cabin. I don't know. Right next to a spring. Would love to know the history of this. Maybe I'll look that up online and see if I can find it. I finished my cooked lunch. Had some ramen noodles and mashed potatoes, and a envelope, excuse me, of pulled pork, which was really good. And so I got a good calorie hit, drank about 1 liter of water, and now I am heading down the descent, down from Tray Mountain, and I feel so good that I am going to attempt to go 6 more miles and camp at a place called Sassafras Gap, which will make my hike out tomorrow much shorter, although I do have a climb over Kelly Knob, which is supposed to be really steep. Excuse me. So yeah, this is pretty steep going down here too. So I'm in the, I was in the mountain laurel zone, and now it is slowly transitioning into the rhododendron zone. So I'm going to have the opposite transition going down the mountain, and eventually I will get to the hardwood forest again. All right, here we go. There's a beautiful view through these trees, but it doesn't come out well on the video. Beautiful pattern of sunlight and shadows from the clouds. Maybe up here a little further it'll come out. But we're getting on around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun's starting to get a little lower in the sky, and we're getting this beautiful play of light with the shadows and the bright spots. And then there's some clouds that are sort of leaving shadows on the mountainsides as you look out over through the trees at the view. So I've got not quite 2 miles, maybe 1 3/4 miles to get to the place where I'm going to camp today. So almost to the end of this day 11. I'm going to stop at a place called Sassafras Gap. I got all my water filled up. I'm lugging 2 liters, so my pack's a little heavier right now. But I'll have water for overnight. So I'm at Sassafras Gap campsite. I hear something walking around in the woods over here. I don't know if it's a person or an animal. Can't tell. Might be a person because there's a water trail down there. This is a real popular tenting site. There's a lot of tent sites here, but I'm the only one here today. So maybe there's somebody coming up from the water. I don't know. Well, I have my food hang done. Yay. So it's just a matter of my tent set up, and I just have to unroll my sleeping mat. And then I can finally lay down. 11-mile day. Got something stuck in my throat. 11-mile day with 2 big climbs. So that makes tomorrow 1 big climb over a 5-mile day, which will be a lot shorter. So that's fantastic. And it's only supposed to go down to about 55 tonight, so that'll be nice, comfortable sleeping. There's a light breeze going. The sun, about 6:30, I think. And the sunset is not till 8, so I got a little bit of daylight left. Okay, so day 11 in the books. It was a good day. My very first solo food bag hang. Let's see if I can get in closer here. So there's the food bag, and there's a stick there to keep the line from coming down. And the line, you can't see it because it's getting dark, but goes all the way up to a branch way up there. I had to throw a bag with a rock in it over. It took me about 15 tries to get it. And then I've got another line going, let's see, right there, another line going down to another tree, tied around there. Got it up a little bit higher there, whoops. And pretty proud of myself. Yeah. So there's the branch up there that I threw the line over. And then it comes down there, and then there's a stick holding it up high so the rope doesn't fly back, and then it goes down over here. So yeah, pretty happy with that.